right. Good, 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 good. All right, what do we got, Mr. Holland? How you doing? Good. We got an interesting kind of day that's kind of popping up in the market, guys, because we've had kind of this 5-6 day pullback over here for the last really this kind of week or so, which is good, right? In bull markets, you want to have some pullbacks. When you get the stochastics, you can see almost touched 100 over here. When you start to get that, that indicates an extreme level of overbought. So when you get like that extreme level of overbought, what you really want to be doing is, you kind of lay off some of your swing positions and some of the other stuff and wait for the market to pull back. So now we start to pull back to a level that, frankly, we've been at for quite some time as a balance point. You can see on the QQQs, in August, first week of August, we pulled back to the 50 SMA. July, we pulled back to the 50 SMA. So we've been doing it about once a month. Now we're in September, pulled back to that 50 SMA. We're also getting an oversold reading at 13.6 on the stochastics. So essentially the market is in a bounce zone. And so now, the last few days, the market's obviously been pulling back or being a little bit more choppy. But now we're really in a full-blown bounce zone, confirming with some oversold readings, which should indicate that this is going to be a little bit of a bounce week. So put your bull hats on for the week. I think that, we're going to have definitely a couple plays here the next, handful of days. So we're definitely going to be looking more on the long side than the short side as we're getting this kind of bounce. Overall, not that many earnings plays today. That's okay. You got this TROY kind of gapping up. My actual plan on this, I may leave this alone. I was hoping for a gap down on this. Ideally, when you get a stock like this, you want to gap down so it kind of pops towards the 9, and then you go red to green. That's your kind of ideal play on something like this. When you get something so stretched, the gap up makes it a little bit more tricky because, frankly, people could be trying to short this thing off the 90 here. That's the nature of the beast there for a little bit. So just kind of something to kind of keep mind of when you're looking at this. Don't chase this thing up because it's just so extended. Let it come back to you if you're going to try to play it. So usually when you do that, like say it gaps up like this, right? Wait for that pullback to the 9 EMA. Let it hold there or get some type of rounding action, right? You don't necessarily know which level something is going to hold when you have pullbacks. What you need to do is let it start to round and confirm. That way you have an idea like which way it's going to go. The CCYT had some news out this morning. It was just getting roasted the last couple days. And now it's kind of gapping right back up into high. So we do have an oversold reading on this one. We seem to be holding out. It is a biotech stock, so this one has definitely, usually it'll have some decent range on it. So I like this one pretty good too. And this fold, this one, I don't know about this one. I'm actually going to take this off the list. It busted down and now it's already creeping back up. It may just go green today, so I'm going to leave that one alone. So it's a little bit light on the gappers, but we have tons of stocks on our normal watch list to kind of play today. I got the ZS on the watch list. This is an IPO stock that busted out the highs. Has a really incredible range on it. Had a 9-10% day on Friday. This one may have a little bit more action on it. And it is opening week, so I'll be watching this one for potential red to green move. Hey, Denny, how you doing? So I'll watch this thing for a red to green move. So I believe that would be kind of right around this area. So watch and see if that dip starts to get bought up. If it starts to go green, we can take this one for red to green. This Yext was hot on Friday. You can see this is a classic kind of swing trading setup too. Where you get that big push and you pull back to your MA. See how you start to round it and you bust over the 9 EMA. That gives you the confirmation. That's a remount play. Remount plays are always, frankly, very, very powerful. This one should bust loose. It's got a good range on it. This Tesla, I was hoping for a gap down today, so I put it on the list. I needed a gap down because it's actually a rubber band play right now. If it had gapped down a little bit, You know, we could have used this 250 as like a nice support level and try to play this thing long, but frankly, it's opening up strong, and it's taken all the rubber or the band out of the setup, meaning that, you know, now it's already $20 off its lows. Probably the reward is gone on this thing. I was really hoping for, you know, some type of push down at the open so we could kind of use these levels to manage our risk, and we could go red to green on this because it is really oversold. And now with the candle completely outside the lower Bollinger Band, that indicates a level of extreme stretch, and that's something good. But now this thing is opening up $9, little fucker. So at that point, you know, we kind of took the rubber out of it. SQ flag pattern over here. This has been a monster trend for the last, you know, month or so. It looks like it's got a little bit more juice in it. Yeah, Sonic sucks. I still keep Roku on the list too. We exit its flag pattern on Friday. Problem with Roku is going to be this. It's opening at, you know, close at 65, opening up at 66.40. It normally has kind of a $3 range, and we're using up half the range right at the open. So when you kind of get into something like that, when you think about like stocks and patterns, right? And then you have a market gap up. So the market is gapping up today if you look at the QQQs, right? So the QQQs are opening up really strong. So what that happens is, like, say something like Roku, it's got a $3 range typically on every single day, maybe $4. But if it opens up $2 that day, you've really sucked out a lot of the range, right? And so now what's left is that the market's gapping up. All your stocks have used up a good chunk of the range, and now you're sitting there fighting for a few pennies, right? Because the range has been sucked out, and so you can't chase it up too high because, like, say this thing gets up, say it spikes up at the open, and then, you know, you start to flag out a little bit. There's no PR on this thing today, right? It's just gapping up because the general market's gapping up. So then you have very limited range left. Maybe you have $1 or 80 cents or something like that, and that kind of takes it out. So like when I get the market, when I see the market open up strong like this, what I obviously want to see is that pullback at the open. Then I want to see it hold, and then I can get back in because then I have that high of day to balance out a little bit extra range versus trying to chase it up. So something to just keep in mind of. This Octa was hot on Friday. I don't know, some of you guys probably played this ORB on it. Apologize for missing Friday. Frankly, I just slept in. I was in California, and I don't know how people in California do it, man. You set your alarm at, I had my mom wake me up at 4:45. I gave her the bird. She goes, "You better not be sweating at me, motherfucker." And then she tried to wake me up again like 5:30. I said, I'm too old to be waking up this early. Then I tried to wake up like 6:15. Not happening. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. So this one's opening up weak here. So we'll watch this thing. There's a big range over here. Watch and see if it kind of holds down this support. And watch and see if it holds down the support. If it holds and then goes red to green, we'll definitely have this one on watch too. Grub-a-dub is a nice, this is like a classic remount trade too, right? So you got like this big push, pull back to the 20 SMA, remount of the 9. That's like a nice trade right there. You know, I see that one a lot. This one's got a decent range on it. You can see it was like $8-9 on Friday. That one's going to look pretty good. And then on the short list, you know, watch this C-trip. This thing's been bleeding out. And it had, you know, kind of a bounce back into resistance, and now it's starting to bleed out again. You know, if we need a short in the market, I think this one and some of these Chinese names are going to be, I think I was in San Jose, some shit like that. Yeah, San Jose, or around San Jose. Dun, 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 dun. It was all right. I traded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday there. I had some friends come over that like to trade, and some students that I've known for a while come and hang out for a bit, but otherwise, too early for me. I was taking naps at like 8 a.m. So you can see this FXI is like, it's been weak here, and you kind of busting down the lower end of the range. So keep a couple Chinese names on the watch list. Otherwise, you know, we're really going off the same watch list we had a little bit last week. You know, you got some of the ones that we always use, and we've added a couple new ones. and we'll see what's going on. As you know, it's Monday, which means you got to get off to a good start. I always find if you get off to a good start on Monday, the rest of the week is on fire. But if you screw up on Monday, you know what happens the rest of the week. Screw up, right? So just kind of keep an eye on that. You always want to start off strong. Don't chase some of this stuff at the open, though. You chase, you die, right? That's always the case. When the market gaps up, if you chase, you get smoked. So we want to really have a nice entries. You know, let things set up. We'll get something going, all right? Let's do this, people. We need some cash. Now you get the trade on Friday.